Yo, what is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV, back again once again with an instant classic, ladies and gentlemen. This has got to be by far one of the best simp stories I have ever heard in my whole entire life, okay? So, I'm the type of guy, and this is going to sound weird. It's going to sound weird. I made a video about this. I think I put it on Patreon since. And if you're not part of the Patreon team, you are bugging out right now. But the video was entitled, I'm a 6, 7, 8, not a 9 and 10 kind of guy. Let me explain. And in that particular video, I was speaking about the fact that I prefer dating women that are not already made. Excuse me. Not already tailor-made. Already peaked, for an example. I like women that can be somewhat molded into, and not molded and manipulated, but molded to what you like. They kind of have a bare foundation. Somebody that you can make into what you want to look like, or something like to that effect. And when I say that, it's just, you know, natural beauty is existing, and you kind of just tweak a few things here and there, you know, whatever it may be and that you may deem fit. Now, there was a guy that I talked to that took this to the extreme. You guys know how you go to the mall and you can build a bear? Remember Build a Bear inside the mall? I don't know if that still exists. My man actually thought he could build a girl. So let me tell you what this man did. So he was dating this Filipina. I'm not going to be one to talk about her background. I think you can pretty much figure out where she came from and what she was all about. But in the beginning of the relationship, he kept trying to enforce the idea that she needed to look a certain kind of way, which I do not encourage at all. If you want to tweak it, it has to be a natural tweak. Like, yo, you know, maybe try this dress on. You know, maybe I think you might look good in this. A natural tweak. He was over here telling this girl, pointing at other girls, telling her that she should look like that girl or whatever it may be. And I saw this. I saw this happening quite a few times. It wasn't a very subtle way of telling her that he did not approve of her current look. So she finally commits to the idea of, fuck it, I'm just going to say it, breast and ass implants. Of course, funded by that man himself. So, you know, as opposed to him running around here talking about, oh man, you know, look at her and look at that, look at, you know, that's what I think you could look like and all this stuff, in a very blatant and blunt way, she finally agreed, okay, look, if it makes you happy, I'll get it. So they end up doing the surgery. She ended up getting the breast implants. She ended up getting her assets increased also. Less than 2 months later, she left. Less than 2 months later, she left. Now, the intriguing part of this entire situation is the simple fact that she left because she couldn't stand the dude, number one. She also left because what he did was make her into this 9 and 10 that made her hella attractive to all of the other men, aka even the local guys, as we talked about before in the previous video. You know, the idea that Filipinas might be with foreigners because they're a last-ditch effort, or the fact that Filipinas might be dating foreigners because they can't get with their own local men. So imagine you make this woman hella attractive to the local guys. You've already kind of brung down her self-esteem. You're not making her feel good about herself, and you think she's gonna stay around because you've increased her assets? No, man. I kind of feel like once you increase a lady's assets in that regard, she is definitely going back to the streets, ladies and gentlemen. She, as a matter of fact, she may not have belonged to the streets before, but we've always talked about the idea of the emotional aspect of the need for attention. Shout out to my man Eddie Jackson for bringing this to my attention in the live stream. He called it the 5 emotional something. I'm sure he'll comment down below on it because he kind of thought he tried to bring that to my attention. But females need attention. And you mean to tell me that you don't think she's going to get attention, the best and worst kind of attention? Yeah, she might look good on your arm, but how long is she going to stay on your arm after you've done everything for her? Again, being a simp can be expensive. Being a dick can be expensive. It's going to cost you. She didn't get that man no more than 2 months after she got enhanced before she just called it quits. And what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Take her tits and ass out of her? Come on, man. What you gonna do? You can't take it back now. You understand? So, I enjoyed hearing that story because it taught me a lot. You have to love your Filipina for the way that she is. If you're dating her and you're trying to be with her, you gotta love her for what she brings to the table. If down the line things start to become serious and you think about the idea of making the transition towards that way, it has to be a gradual thought process. It isn't something you can just throw on her because, again, a Filipino with low self-esteem, it could blow up in your face if you choose to go about it the wrong way. Best way for me to say it. It could blow up in your face if you choose to go about trying to change her in a certain type of way. Like my man, he kind of forced it on her. He kind of made her feel bad about herself because he was commenting and somewhat praising other women, like right in front of her face. Like, that's a douche move. Everybody knows that's not the way you go about it. I'm sorry, man. That story just has me cracked up, but I want you to understand, I encourage you to accept your Filipina for the way that she is, because that cosmetic surgery stuff can be dangerous too. So if you're gonna be with your chick, you gotta be with her for the way that she is. If it goes down and it's able to pop off, and you want to do all that stuff to your young lady, okay. But I don't want you to be surprised of the results. If she chucks the deuces and say, look, man, I'm going to go to this guy because this guy's got more money. Thank you for enhancing me. Thank you for making me beautiful to everybody. That nobody was probably paying her any attention in the first place until you drew attention to her. Let me note that. Nobody was probably paying her any attention until you drew their attention to her. Now she's on everybody's radar. Now she belongeth to the streets. But when I heard that story, I couldn't help myself. It was laugh-worthy. He got mad that I laughed at him. But I'm like, bro, I told you, man, you can't do that to chicks, man. The way you went about it was all wrong. But that's my story time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to be before you long. Again, the assets, the enhancements, you think that that's what's going to keep her around. The money you spend is going to keep her around. It's got to be a little bit more than the money, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I will say. Has to be just a little bit more than the money that you hold in your pockets. You got to be able to bring a little bit more to the table. I'm not saying that you got to bring much. I'm not saying that you got to bring much, but you got to bring a little bit more than that to the table. Ladies and gentlemen, Doc is out, man. Y'all be blessed and y'all take care and be safe. Peace.